You're listening to the Dibbly Dobbly Podcast. Remember to like, share, comment, subscribe, and click the bell to make sure you get the latest episodes of the podcast. Be sure to like and share our Facebook page and follow us on Twitter and on Instagram. Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Dibbly Dobbly Podcast. On today's episode of the podcast, we summarise Day 3 of the first Ashes Test between Australia and England from the GABBA. It's the Dibbly Dobbly Podcast, and let's get started. Let's have a look at the session-by-session breakdown of Day 3 of the first Ashes Test from the GABBA between Australia and England. In the first session of play on day number 3, Australia were bowled out for 425 from 104.3 overs with a lead of 278 runs over England in the first innings. Mitchell Starc was the first wicket to go for Australia in the first session for 35. Caught Burns, bowled Wokes. He and Travis Head added 85 for the 8th wicket, which were vital runs for Australia in their first innings. Nathan Lyon was the next wicket to go for 15. Caught Robinson, bowled Wood, and Travis Head was the last wicket for Australia to fall in the first session, out for 152, bowled by Mark Wood. England at lunch were none for 23 after 8 overs, and headed into the second session of play, England lost 2 wickets in the second session. Rory Burns was the first to go for 13, caught Carey, bowled Cummins, and Hamid was the last wicket to fall for 27, caught Carey, bowled Starc. England at tea were 2 for 107 from 36 overs. Heading into the last session of day 3, and England did not lose a single wicket in the final session on day 3 of the first test here at the GABBA. Root and Malan added 150 for the 3rd wicket. Malan 80 not out at stumps, along with Root 86 not out as well. England at stumps are 2 for 220 after 70 overs. They trail by 58 runs, and that was the session-by-session breakdown of day 3 of the first Ashes Test at the GABBA. Thoughts on the day's play? It was a good day's Test match cricket. Good battle between bat and ball. I thought Australia fought well with the ball, obviously bowled without luck at times. Malan and Root played well in their 159-run partnership for the 3rd wicket. They did well to blunt the Australian attack and showed a lot of resilience and fight and mental toughness with the bat, which England needed following what happened in the first innings. So I thought Australia did well to stick at it with the ball today. They bowled without luck, as I said before. A lot of plays and misses, a lot of opportunities created. So for Australia, they'll be happy with how they've gone today, but they would have liked another couple of wickets before the end of play today, but it's the way it is. So for Australia, they'll be happy with their performance today in terms of their effort with the ball and in terms of how they've played in this match thus far. With England, I think they'll be very happy in the way they've fought back. They showed some fight, mental toughness and resilience with the bat after being bowled out for 147 in the first innings. They've done well to be 2 for 220 at stumps on day 3 with Malan and Joe Root at the crease batting really well. Malan 80 not out, Root 86 not out. 2 very fine players for England, and they're showing a lot of fight and courage. Still a long way back for England in this match, but good signs for England that they're fighting with the bat and they're not throwing in the towel and not giving up, despite how far back they have been in this test match over the last 2 days. In particular, it hasn't been a great couple of days for England. But day 3 was definitely a good day for them in this test match, but they need to continue on this good work. So I think both teams will have mixed feelings on the day, but overall, for me, it was a great day of Ashes cricket. That's what Ashes cricket's about. It's a hard-fought contest, and that's what Test cricket's about. It's a test. It's in the name. It's a test, and it was certainly a test for both teams. Good, nutritional, hard-fought cricket. It was brilliant to watch. So it was a great day of Test match cricket for this first Ashes Test at the GABBA. What can we expect from both teams heading into day 4? Well, it's pretty simple for both teams headed into day 4, what they need to do. We'll start with Australia. I think it's going to be very important for Australia to bowl well with the new ball. Now, they've bowled 70 overs in the England innings thus far, so they're Therefore, 10 overs remaining until that new ball. So I think Australia will be looking to bowl a good line and length, be consistent in their lines and lengths, build pressure by landing the ball in the same area, ball after ball, creating pressure on the England batsmen and hoping to get wickets and breakthroughs. So I think for Australia, that new ball will be very important for them early on day 4 in the morning session. If they can get a couple of wickets before the new ball, get rid of Malan and Root before the new ball, and get Stokes and Pope and Butler exposed to that new ball, I think Australia should take a lot of wickets in the first session. So it's very important for Australia to use that new ball wisely when it comes early on day 4. For England, the plan for them is pretty simple, just bat. It's a big mountain to climb for England. They've done well to fight back. They trail by 58 runs, but they shouldn't be thinking about that we trail by 58 runs. They should be thinking about just playing each ball on its merits, one ball at a time, ticking the runs down one by one, and just focus on batting, because it's still a long way to go for England in this match to try and get a victory, which is probably unlikely. But for them, they've shown a lot of great fight and resilience. The key for them is how Malan and Root start on day 4. It's often very hard when you're a batsman who's not out overnight trying to restart your innings the next day. Often you lose that rhythm and momentum that you've built up in your innings. And for Malan and Root, it's going to be very crucial for them to restart and reset early on day 4, because they know the Australian attack will be bowling with that new ball in 10 overs time, and it's going to be a very testing period for Malan and Root. If both of them get out, then I think England may lose a few wickets with the new ball. So it's very important for Malan and Root to start well for England and continue on their great work. So pretty much both teams have their way of going about things on day 4. That's what we can expect from Australia and England heading into day 4 of this first Ashes test at the GABBA. But let's hope we get another cracking day as we have done on day 3. Let's hope day 4 is another cracking day in the Ashes. Well, that's all the time we have for this episode. Be sure to subscribe and click the bell to get the latest episodes of the podcast, and like and share our Facebook page, and follow us on Twitter and on Instagram. Until next time, keep safe, and bye for now.